Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on this Easter weekend. And it's a relatively quiet Easter weekend across the country. We don't have much in the way of adverse weather, except in the southeastern part of the United States, but nothing that really elevates itself to weather systems that are going to be causing any major problems. We do have just a couple of areas of note: flood watches in southeastern Louisiana. We have also some flood watches in parts of Nevada. The light green that you see across the northwestern Great Lakes and back over into the northern plains and northern Rockies is actually an advisory on melting snows because of the warming that is occurring across the U.S. And for the rest of the weekend and the week ahead, the weather for the most part in the Northeast and northern mid-Atlantic states looks pretty good. The only issue today is that we do have the old cold front stalled to our south, and you see a lot of clouds there, and you see also the lightning flashes that are occurring with some showers and thunderstorms in the Gulf of Mexico. That low is going to be moving off the Carolina coast tonight and on Sunday, passing well to our south. And if you look at the radar, it's quiet in the Northeast all the way down into southern Virginia, and then you get into rain in North Carolina, back across South Carolina, some heavier rains in the northwestern part of South Carolina, northern Georgia, into Alabama and Mississippi. So all of this needs to play through to our south. But again, no real issues. When we look at the Storm Prediction Center and what's going on here, there is a small area of marginal risk left over from overnight. That's going to be gone. And we have no severe weather being forecast for the next 3 days. Considering how active it's been, this is a nice welcome respite. And take a look at the 7-day rainfall forecast for the Northeast and northern mid-Atlantic states, back across the Ohio Valley and around the Great Lakes and even down the Mississippi Valley. There is a large area where we're seeing no precipitation being forecast. What you see in the southeast is basic, and down in the Gulf of Mexico and along the Gulf Coast, that is all front end loaded. That's with that system moving through today and tonight. And in the northwest, several to many inches of rain indicated there. So we look at the upper air pattern of going forward. It is really going to be dominated at first by a northwest flow out of Canada to take us through the weekend and into next week. And then we have general ridging that's going to be covering the United States for much of this week. You see an upper high there building in New Mexico and pushing back up toward the western Great Lakes. The energy coming off of Canada and the Northeast forms a storm out in the ocean. So we're really in good shape. And that ridge is going to push eastward. That's going to allow temperatures to really warm up nicely. I think the latter part of next week, we're going to see temperatures reach up into the 80s. The only issue is a short wave that's dropping down into the western Gulf of Mexico. You see it there closing off, and that's going to become a storm system in the Gulf later this week. But most of that moisture, at least initially, is going to stay to our south. So it's looking good. Other than high clouds today, we really have nothing much to worry about. This big high is going to suppress this system to the south. Rain maybe makes it as far north as the Delmarva Peninsula. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s today in eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, upper 50s to low 60s for tomorrow. Monday will be in the 60s, maybe a few spots getting close to 70, and we'll be well into the 70s, I think, for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we'll start to get into those temperatures that might push up into the 80s. We might see 80-degree temperatures here as early as Wednesday. There's no sign of any kind of real backdoor cold front either. And the next chance of any rain, if you look at the models, may not come until after next weekend. So that's a good thing. So enjoy your Easter weekend. There's no Joe and Joe weather show today or tomorrow, Easter Sunday, but we'll be back on Monday at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time.